Welcome to Digital Asset News. We take top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets and break them down into bite-sized pieces. Today we've got a lot of stories to go over, a lot of important things that have been happening lately, so we need to be fun. Also, SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce proposes a 3-year safe harbor period for all crypto token sales. This is very positive as far as the SEC goes. And Crypto Trader predicts Ethereum to reach unbelievable $10,000 in the next bull run. We're going to go over some numbers, and I'm going to show you how it's not unbelievable, it's actually probable. Also, we'll go over a scam of the day at the very last part. So everybody, thanks for helping me bust those scammers. It's going to help this space be more safe when all the people come in and FOMO into this cryptocurrency digital asset space. So I thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Let's get on with today's stories. Okay, first up, this is, it's all about CBDCs this year. CBDCs, central bank digital coins. And here's what we're talking about. Japan should prepare to issue digital currencies and propose bringing up the topic at this year's G7 meeting to counter China's moving toward issuing a digital yuan, a group of ruling party lawmakers said in Japan on Friday, which would be today. The group will present the proposal to the government next week. Its leader, Akira Amari, a liberal Democratic Party or LDP heavyweight, and former economy minister, told reporters. So this isn't just some random congressperson or some random person who delves into the law and is, a politician. He is an actually former economy minister, so he knows exactly what he's talking about. So when he talks about these things like, look, we need to get on the ball because China is really pushing us up against this, and if we don't do something now, we're going to be in a world of hurt. And I think it's a fantastic article because I talked about this weeks and months ago where I said, look, if China comes out with their central bank digital currency, it's going to force the hand of every single country out there, especially all the different economic superpowers, and they're going to have to do something. So I don't care how lax the United States is or how lax Europe was, they're going to get in line or they're going to grab bench because they better do something quickly. Moving on. While Japan is unlikely to issue a digital currency anytime soon due to technical and legal hurdles, the move underscores growing pressure Tokyo is feeling in keeping pace with advances China has made toward issuing a digital yuan. He states, "We live in a stable world led by dollar settlement. How should we respond if such a foundation collapses and if China's move gives rise to a struggle for currency supremacy?" Amari told the group's meeting to finalize the proposal. So look, it just comes out of this. If you're America and you're sitting back, you're like, China, yeah, I think they might be a problem. And also, as far as trade goes, yeah, they're really kicking our teeth in because we're trying to do a trade deal. I don't care what you say, whatever side you're on, but right now, they've got the upper hand on certain things, and trade is one of them. They export so much around the globe, you cannot discount them. And when they're going to come in here and go, you know what? Also, because of this reserve dollar that you have, that's fantastic and everything, but what we're going to do is we're going to do a digital yuan, and we're going to shove it down our people's throats, and they're going to use it all. And that dollar, that's going to go away. We're going to try to make that go away as fast as possible. So when Japan talks about these things like they should get on the ball, they know exactly what they're talking about. It goes on to state in this article, Japan should work in close coordination with the United States, he said. As part of such efforts, we should ask the U.S. to set digital currency on the G7 agenda as chairperson. So G7, the group of seven, it comprises of Canada, Italy, Japan, Germany, France, UK, and they aim to address challenges affecting the growth of the world economy. Fantastic. So what does that mean? That means when they get together, the United States is the chairperson for this particular time frame. And when they get together, they want them to talk about this almost exclusively and really hammer it home. So the question then becomes, well, how far along is the United States as far as looking at cryptocurrency digital assets? Well, you only need to look so far as look at Steve Mnuchin's different tweets. And the last one that he sent out about cryptocurrency was at the Davos World Economic Forum, where he states there are benefits to cross-border payment systems in lowering costs for consumers and businesses. We absolutely support companies working on this. And this was tweeted out by Brad Garlinghouse, and later on he said, look, if they're not talking about us, I don't know who they're talking about. And I got to agree. And also, as far as like digitizing the US dollar, because they're digitalizing the E-Yuan or the Yuan, this is an article about the former CFTC chairman, Chris Giancarlo, aka Crypto Dad. And he is putting together a task force to look into the prospect of digitalizing the US dollar as he sees it as being hopelessly obsolete. He states, during my 5 years at the Commission, we saw this sort of new wave of the digitization of our world that's taking place. The first wave was the digitization of information, and that's created the internet as we know it today, but we're seeing what some people call the digitization of value, or the internet of value, and I could not agree more. Since leaving the Commodity Futures Trading Commission as its chairman, Giancarlo has joined the Chamber of Digital Commerce. So, Chamber of Digital Commerce, who else works with the Chamber of Digital Commerce? Who else rubs elbows with that group and organization? This guy. Little known guy named Brad Garlinghouse. He's the CEO of Ripple. So it's not about what you know, it's who you know, and it's the circles that you run in. And if you don't think that these guys are all talking about using Ripple or XRP as a bridge currency, you are out of your mind. Next up, SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce proposes 3-year safe harbor period for crypto token sales. And this is big because as we're looking at regulation coming up in 2020, especially with the 21 different laws that are being debated in Congress this year, hopefully something gets done. But Hester Peirce here has an idea. Let's give everybody, all the different players in the cryptocurrency digital asset space, 3-year safe harbor for crypto token sales to where we won't come down on them as a security. So basically this whole article can be summed up in this one paragraph. Under Peirce's proposal, crypto startups would have a 3-year grace period from their first token sale to achieve a level of decentralization sufficient to pass through the agency's security evaluations, including the Howey test, the famous U.S. Supreme Court assessment. Howey test, I'm not going to get into it, but basically it just kind of goes like, is this a security? And there's these different criteria. I think it's like 4 criteria. And if most of them are no, or one is no, then it's not security. So this big thing, because cryptocurrency is new, they're trying to apply a Howey test to a new technology. And I think the big one factor that they're looking at is this decentralized or is it centralized? So this is what it looks like as far as the Howey test and how they have applied it to current cryptocurrencies. First up, Bitcoin. Monetary investment, yes. Expectation of profits, yes. Investing in a common enterprise, no. Profits from a third party, no. Decentralized, yes. Essentially, that's what it comes down to. Then we took a look at Ethereum. Same types of things. And they declared Ethereum not a security in late 2018. And this is from William Hinman, Director of the Division of Corporate Finance of the SEC. He stated, based on the understanding of the present state of Ether, the Ethereum network and its decentralized structure, decentralized, keyword, current offers and sales ETHs are not security transactions. And going further, let's take a look at EOS, and they are yes across the board, and they got busted for being a security. Boo-hoo, oh no, what happened to them? Well, here's what happened to them. EOS maker Block One must pay $24 million in penalties for conducting an unregistered securities sale. And they announced that this was back in October. When was this? September 30th, 2019. And so they slapped them on the wrist and said, here's, you got to pay us $24 million. Well, how much did they raise? They rose $41 billion. And the fine amounts to 0.58% of the initial raise. So now does this mean that all of EOS's tokens forever into infinity is going to be have a slap on the wrist? No. In its press release, Block One said the settlement only applies to the sale of the original ERC20 tokens it sold. EOS holders swapped their Ethereum-based tokens with the proper EOS tokens when the network first went live. So, more significantly, Block One statement said its ERC20 tokens are no longer in circulation and will not require the token to register as security with the SEC. So the big question is it decentralized? Meaning, do you have these nodes set up or do you have some kind of consensus set up? So with Bitcoin, yeah, there's nodes all over there. There's like thousands of nodes, right? Ethereum, same thing. EOS, you know how many nodes they have or blockchain producers? 21. 21. That is it. And they say, yeah, that's decentralized. So if you're looking at, if different projects are decentralized, if they've got nodes or consensus or something all over, and it's more than, I guess, 21, maybe even 2, I don't know. I think they're all decentralized. I do not see many of them being deemed a security, especially not XRP. I know they have a case right now, but we will see. I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot. Next up, crypto trader predicts Ethereum to reach unbelievable $10,000 in next bull run. So is this insane to think about? Well, not really. So yesterday, crypto trader Bitcoin Macro, good name, announced he had masterfully shorted Tesla stock right before its dramatic dump. So I was like, well, how bad did it get? Take a look at Tesla stock. Here it was on February 4th. And then it looks, we're almost 1,000, 961, and it just kind of slipped down like around 700. Now it's around 745. So volatility is not just in the digital asset space, my friends. It is all over. So if this guy shorted it, well, congratulations to him. His audience is guessing whether this could be repeated with Ethereum. Bitcoin Macro was asked how much Ethereum would cost by the end of the 2020 year. He pretty much just kind of sloughed that off, but he said, the next Ethereum bull run, after this run, Ethereum may trade at $10,000, Bitcoin Macro concluded. And I'm like, where's the proof? What is he talking about? This doesn't make any sense. So if you want to see the tweet, I'll link it in the description below. It's just him just saying, yeah, it's going to 10,000. Like no data, nothing like that. But it got me to think about some things, and I believe Ethereum is going to be huge. I mean, very huge. And there's a video I made not too long ago, about a week or so ago, where I talked about decentralized finance is what's going to push the market cap of Ethereum to 1 trillion or more. There's so much money sloshing around out there. And let me just jump forward to talk about how much money is out there. So if we looked at, and I've shown this many a time, and if you have seen this, you can just fast forward about a minute and a half. It's all it's going to take. But this is all the money in the world. And each little square here represents, I think it's 100 billion, 100 billion. So here's Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Carlos Slim, Mexico's richest man in the world. Berkshire Hathaway, Microsoft, Apple. That's how much they're worth, right? It's a lot of money. Well, here's the Fed's balance sheet. And that's 4.5 trillion. And it jumped between 2008 and 2014 from 1 trillion to 4.5. Just keep that in mind. Coins and banknotes, that's 5 trillion. Commercial real estate, 7.6 trillion. Gold, 7.8 trillion. And if you don't think that cryptocurrency is going to eat in that market, you're off your rocker. Narrow money, banknotes and checking deposits, 28.6 trillion. All stock markets, 70 trillion. And here's debt, or broad money, 80 trillion, which is also savings, checking, and time deposits. All global debt is 200 trillion. And here's where we get to derivatives. And I always think this is a glitch on my browser, but it's not. This is derivatives. And this is where they end it at. They think it's around 630 trillion, but that's just on the very conservative end. They actually think it's more like 1.2 quadrillion. So when we start talking about Ethereum, decentralized finance, derivatives, 1 trillion is a drop in the bucket, in all honesty. So first, let's have some context, okay? Because I don't want to just pull numbers out of the air that make absolutely no sense. So I did a video weeks back, and I talked about the Bitcoin price, what I thought it was going to be. I did an XRP price prediction, and this is all just by data from years past, because history seems to repeat itself, and especially in the cryptocurrency market. It's like there's a 4-year cycle, and the cycle's all based on the Bitcoin halving every single time. And we're coming up on the third one in less than 100 days. So the first halving, if you don't understand about Bitcoin halving, essentially it's just like this. The miners, they mine using computational power for their computer. They're able to, for every different block, they're awarded so many Bitcoin. Right now it's 12.5 blocks or 12.5 Bitcoin per block. In around May 12th, 2020, it's going to be 6.25. So it's kind of like going, hey, Jerry, thanks for sweeping up this floor yesterday. It looks great. But tomorrow, I want you to sweep the floor again, same way you're doing it, but I'm going to pay you half. Sounds good? All right, Jerry, get out of here. That's essentially what's going to happen with the miners, and it's going to be a shock to the supply and demand. Going on, not to get off topic. So the first halving happened because Bitcoin has been around since 2009. So the halving, the first one, happened on November 28th, 2012. And then from 2012, the price of the halving was $12.31. Ooh, that's sweet. And then in a year later, December 2nd, 2013, the price went to $9.94. Not too bad. So that's by about 8,000% increase, right? It's pretty good. Now let's take a look at the second halving. And this is when I came around. So the date of the halving was July 9th, 2016. And on that date, the price was $650.63. Okay. And then about a year and a half later, on December 16th, 2017, it shot to almost $20,000. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good return in 4 years. So you're looking at almost 3,000%, right? So if we just look at the first halving, from the first halving to the second halving, the percentage increase went from 8,000 to about 3,000. So it dropped by about a third, okay, from here to here. So let's just say everything repeats itself because we know it's going to happen it's coming up, less than 100 days. So let's take that same number. Let's say that it's going to be from here dropped by about a third. Now it's 3,000%. Let's just do by about a third. Let's work with round numbers. 1,000%. So the price at the halving, right now we're looking at 9,800, somewhere around there for Bitcoin. It's not outside the realm of possibility to hit 10,000 by May. I don't think anybody can say, oh, that's crazy. It's not crazy. Come on, $200. So if we're looking at 10,000 at the price of the halving on May 2020, if we 10x that, we're looking at $100,000 Bitcoin within maybe a year or two. I don't know. But that's the cycle. Okay, so if that's the cycle for Bitcoin, what are we looking at for, let's take a look at Ethereum. I want to make this as simple as possible. So there was, Ethereum price went live on July 30, 2015. Vitalik Buterin, the creator, he came up with it around 2013. And but it actually, the price itself was on July 30, 2015. And it was for about $1. What? That's not too bad, right? So the second halving happened on July 9th, 2016. And on that date, it was $10.91. Not too bad. July 9th, 2016, Ethereum, $10, almost $11. So if you go from $1 to 10, and that's in 1 year, pretty good. 10x, good for you. Great job, trader, or great job, investor. Of 2016, 2017, Ethereum went from $10 to $1,400. And that's about 100, it's 140x for all intents and purposes, 140x, right? You put in $10, you get in $1,400, it's 140x. So, okay. Now, Ethereum is around $200, okay? So if you go at the third halving, which is going to be in, like I said, about 3 months or so, if we're looking at $11, $10, and we are now at $200, that's a 20x. Because you went from $10 to $200 from the date of the halving. $200, okay. So if we're taking 20x, and the same type of principle goes about. So if we take 20x and we apply the same principle from the halving price to the all-time high price, which is going to be a year, maybe 2, I don't know, after this halving. If we 20x $1,400, it's about $28,000. $28,000. That's crazy. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. It's cryptocurrency. Did you think, or I don't think anybody believed that in 2015, July 30th, that a small thing called Ethereum, which sounds a little odd anyhow, and a smart contract, and it's built by this Vitalik somebody, hard to say name, it's going to go from $1 to $10, and then you're going to tell me it's going to go to $1,400? Yeah, right. You're crazy, but it happened. So it's the same thing with Bitcoin. Can you imagine something that went from like pennies to $1, $5? It goes all the way to 20,000? That's insane. That's insane. And here I am telling you that this is going to go from $1,400 to 28,000. That's insane. That's insane. Yeah, sure. It's all insane. But let's just say that it can be reasonably, you go from $1,400, let's say it goes to 10,000. So for all you people out there going, do you know what the market cap is? What the market cap price would be? Yes, I know what the market cap's going to be. So let's take a look. So let's just take a look here. So the circulating supply, real quick, the circulating supply of Ethereum is 109 million Ethereum, right? The Ethereum network went live on July 30, 2015 with 72 million Ethereum pre-mined, already ready to go, right? 72 million pre-mined. No one really talks about that too much, but it's true. So what happened from 72 million now at 108 million? Well, the supply of Ether appears to be outpacing the original expectation for the cryptocurrency. Vitalik Buterin, Ethereum's co-founder, originally estimated that the supply of Ether would be around 97 million by the year 2025, up from 72 million in 2016. However, that 10-year projection has already been surpassed by 10 million. So what they try to do is do this thing called a difficulty bomb. Essentially, it's just making things a little bit more difficult for the miners to actually get it. And they dropped from 3 ETH to 2 ETH in March instead of the 1 ETH. So the circulating supply is going to go up, but not by that much. Okay, so let's just take 109 million. I like round numbers. I don't really, it makes things easier for me. I've killed so many brain cells. I need to hold on to all the ones I got. So 109 million. Let's say the token's value, it was what, 1,400 at the height? So that's 152 billion market cap. Did we not hit like 850 billion, somewhere around there, for the 2017 bull run? Okay, so let's just take 1,400. Let's take 10,000, because I think 10,000 seems reasonable. I don't think it's crazy. That means its market cap is around 1 trillion. 1 trillion. And what did I say about decentralized finance and what we just saw with derivatives? There is a quadrillion dollars worth of money just sloshing around in all different shapes, forms, and sizes. And if we can't hit $1 trillion, there is no reason for us to be in this space. Ethereum's going to go big. I firmly believe it. And that's what I see. All right. So that is it for that section. I want to say thanks for sticking with me through the rants. It was a little bit long. I apologize. And I was really ranting. But if you got a couple minutes, stick around. Let's go over the scam of the day. So if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. What we try to do is try to clean up this space. There's so many scams out there. And as this year progresses, we're going to see more people FOMO in. They're going to come in. And if they get scammed out of their hard-earned money, it's going to look bad on us. And one person tells 10, 10 tells 100, 100 tells 10,000. And people stay away from this market. So let's try to clean it up a little bit. Now, to get to the scam of the day, it's pretty simple. And I only want you to do two things. First of all, in the comments or the description of every video that I do, there's a title called Scam of the Day. And there's a link right next to that. And in that link, it's going to take you this handy-dandy Google Spreadsheet. And in the Google Spreadsheet, these are all the scams that we have busted thus far. We started on January 15th. We're doing pretty good. We've busted a lot. A lot of people have been screwing people out of money left and right that we got rid of. And I cannot be happier. And I want to say thanks for all you guys and gals who helped me out. So all I want you to do is just to basically just click on these links and downvote them and report them. But before we go to that, I want to talk about one particular scam. Actually, before I want to talk about that, I want to tell you my whole philosophy here. And it can be summed up within this sentence. Everything is a scam unless proven otherwise. Let me say that again. Everything is a scam unless proven otherwise. You are not special. Nobody's giving you free money. Nobody's out there that's going to take your 1 Bitcoin and turn it into 1,000 Bitcoins. That is insane. That is more insane than that $10,000 Ethereum prediction I just gave, which really I do believe that is true. But these things, everything's a scam until you prove it otherwise. If you have any questions about it, like, is Ripple giving away money? Is Binance doing an airdrop? Is this going blah, blah, blah? Is NAM doing this? Go to the website, the official website, and just drop an email. They usually get back to you in 24 hours and go, hey, are you guys giving away free nano ledgers? No? Oh, well, this guy in Korea said you were. I just was checking. And then, hey, Ripple, are you giving away free XRP? No? Oh, man. I saw it on Twitter. I saw it on YouTube. I thought you were giving away 1 million XRP. Silly me. Go to the website, verify it. It's going to save you a lot of heartache. Anyhow, so on that same theme, there's one I want to point out, which goes in line with what I just said. This was a scam where this guy named David Gilbert Saffron, essentially what he did is he screwed people out of a lot of Bitcoin. And he just said, hey, give me a couple Bitcoin or however many you got, and I'm going to turn it into like 10x or 3x or 5x, whatever. Listen, do your own research. You don't need these people. It's going to be super simple. You can 10x your money just by holding on to your cryptocurrency and not doing anything. Wouldn't that say sweet? Just don't do anything. Just sit back and don't do anything. Just relax. So if you get people like this, just know they're going to screw you over. okay? And hopefully people watch this video because it's the truth. If you just know that people are going to screw you over, just realize it and go, it's all a scam anyhow. So just that one. There's another one that we came across that was put to my attention. This crypto exchange IDAX locks up cold wallet. A CEO goes missing. So if you don't know, I have a couple other businesses. One of those businesses I do is I help nursing students pass their clinical exam through an online education platform. And I make these nursing students, I have them submit to me these things called nursing care plans. And I tell them, look, nursing care plans are easy. Here's a format for it. This is all you have to do. And for some reason, they try to reinvent the wheel. Some of them, not all. They try to reinvent the wheel and make it harder. And I have to grade it. I'm like, why did you do that? That you were just making it harder for yourself. I'm like, oh, I thought I'd challenge. Whatever. It's the same thing with this. Like, why are people finding these crazy, crappy exchanges and going, yeah, I think I'm going to trade on that? Just make it simple. Go for the ones that have the most volume, that are the most reputable, that have been around for the longest. And if you don't trust these exchanges, you don't need to trade much, then take it off the exchanges and put it on your nano ledger, in a cold wallet, in a paper wallet. It doesn't matter, on storage. And just take it off. I just don't understand why people make this so hard. It's simple. It's simple. Just don't reinvent the wheel. Everything's a scam. Everybody's trying to screw you over. No one's giving you free money. If you can remember that, you're going to be pretty happy in life. even though I sound like I'm angry, I'm not. I get frustrated. All right. So, scam of the day. Back to what I was saying. If you got time, just click on one of these links. And what we're looking for is the date removed. It hasn't been removed. So like this one hasn't been removed yet for some god awful reason. So we'll just go to that link, take a look here, and there's two things we're looking for. The comments. Does it seem like it's a scam? Yeah, especially when mullet's there. Scam, 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 scam. That's just a red flag. Doesn't mean it's a scam. So we're looking for stuff like this, asymmetrical giveaways. It says here, to verify your address, just send from 1,000 to 1,000,000 XRP to the address below and get from 10,000 to 10 million back. What did I say? Go to Ripple, send them an email, official website. You guys giving away 10 million XRP? No? Oh, man. This totally legitimate YouTube video says you were. Okay, I won't do that. So what I need you to do and help me out is click on this, I dislike this, like I've already done many times. We're going to report it. Usually scammers don't have the flag, but here we do. We'll click report. We're going to go to spam or misleading. We're going to choose one. We're going to say scams and fraud. We're going to say this applies to links within the video description. We're going to click next. And we're going to say whatever you want to say. This is a scam. Bah, bah, bah. And then report. And that's it. So if you can do that, that's great. So if I do it, it's just me, just some crazy YouTube nut who's like, I think it's a scam. But if you help me out, now we're two. And then if people who watch this video do the same thing, that's 1,000+ people telling YouTube, this is a scam. Please take this down, because people are greedy and they just don't realize some things. They're not using their head to not get scammed. So that would really be fantastic if you could help me. All right. That is it for today. Thanks for sticking with me. If you got more time, there's a couple of videos that are going to come up to the left and right of this video. I'm going to make I'm going to put in that this video where I talked about Ethereum 1 trillion. That's a good one. And then there's going to be two, and the second one will just be whatever YouTube thinks is best for you per the algorithm. I have no control over that. And that's it. So I want to say thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you on the next one.